Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review on these Underdog Fight Company boxing gloves. So stay tuned. All right, so today we have these Underdog Fight Company boxing gloves. We'll do a close-up weigh-in and review on. Got mine in, I believe is a teal, black and white color scheme. This blue color has more of a pearl to it rather than it being a metallic, but it looks really nice, real clean looking, full genuine leather cowhide construction. You have that Underdog logo. Looks really good and clean. I really love the design of these gloves, just because they have their own individual look as far as the logo goes, and it's not overly done, so that's always nice, where it looks kind of classic and clean. The back of the wrist is a flat cuff. You can see it says Underdog Fight Company with this cloth patch. There's the hinge point with the bead of leather piping right there. You have the black and white split thumb with that teal colored thumb attachment. And on the palm side, double stitching, ventilated holes on the thumb as well as on the palm. The grip bar itself is a nice size, nice and firm. It doesn't feel like it collapses. And you can see the laces are really good, black piping. The wrist support is about 1/8, I'd say maybe 3/8 of an inch. Medium density padding right here on that side as well as on the outer side. The back of the wrist uses a pretty firm padding, which is about 1/2 inch. And then you have that polyester nylon liner on the inside. That's good for wicking away moisture. Got mine in 16-ounce lace-ups, so you can see them next to each other. Really nice looking gloves. Really remind me of like the Sabas Pro Series or even the Infinitude Raptors, both in terms of size and overall feel. These gloves are made in Pakistan, for those of you that are wondering. But nonetheless, still great gloves. Looks really nice and really comfortable. So let's go ahead and put these on the scale. See how much these weigh relative to their advertised weight. The right glove is pretty much right at 16 ounces. So that's perfect. If you're adding on the 1/2 ounce of the lace and loops, these are pretty much on point with weight. So that's 16 ounces. And the left glove again is right on point with 16 ounces. Obviously the lace and loops adds a little bit of weight, but right on point with weight. That's great to see. So let's go ahead and do the review. Hey, what's up guys? Carlo here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of these Underdog Fight Company boxing gloves. I got mine in 16-ounce lace-ups. I believe these are made in Pakistan, and Underdog Fight Company is a relatively new company that's veteran owned and are originally based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And I believe they're also based out of Las Vegas, Nevada now. I was really intrigued by these gloves just from looking at some of their pictures and details on their Instagram account. They don't have their official website launched just yet, but I believe they're getting pretty close to launching it. And from there, you'll be able to see the colors, the kind of closures they offer, just the different sizes they offer here pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, you can check out their Instagram. I believe they also have other social media like Facebook. I'll make sure to put the links for you guys to check them out. But was really intrigued by these. So design-wise, the first thing I thought when I first got these gloves, both in terms of sliding my hand in here and getting that initial feel and looking at it, is they're real similar to the Sabas Pro Series, Infinitude Raptors, and even the superior Grant style boxing gloves like you see back there hanging on the cabinet. It has a very similar profile. The liner on the inside feels the same. The way you close your hand feels the same. The thumb feels the same, and even this genuine cowhide leather is very similar. So that's not even a bad thing. That's a good thing, because these gloves perform really well. But you can see it has more of a medium to snug stature to it. It's not an overly huge or long glove, which I like. You do have that Underdog logo on the back of the glove, which I think looks really slick. It doesn't look overdone. Has a clean, classic look, and you can easily identify this from other brands, which is really good. I do like this teal color. It's not overly super shiny like metallic, but it looks different. It's very unique. You don't really see a lot of teal colored gloves. You usually see like the regular blues and the reds and all those solid colors. Down to the wrist, you do have a flat cuff. Hopefully they come up with a triple cuff design. I'm more of a fan of the triple cuff just because I feel like you have a little bit more flexibility. Especially when you lace it down, you get kind of a more snug fit because the laces can sink into the grooves on the triple cuff. You do have the Underdog patch, Underdog Fight Co. in the black right there. Obviously the white cuff. Moving on to the thumb, you have a white and a black split thumb down the middle with the teal color on the inside of the thumb and a teal attached thumb right there. Palm side, you have the black and the white. A pretty large grip bar right here that has good amount of firm padding. The ventilated holes on the thumb and on the fingertip area. Black piping around the laces. White piping around the thumb. Nice long white laces right here. 3/4, I'd say 3/8 of an inch, of medium density padding on the inside of the wrist that comes up to right about here. And about, I'd say, a 1/2 inch of denser padding, feels like EVA on the back of the wrist with a polyester nylon liner. It's pretty standard. You'd see this in the vast majority of the gloves, the liner that they use. Nice and smooth. It's not uncomfortable. It feels very good when you put your hand in there. So overall, a really nice looking glove. Quality wise, these gloves are really good. There's a couple of small opportunities with the stitching, I would say. The leather itself is held up really nicely. You can see the leather looks really good. It has a premium feel, feels thick. You don't see any issues with any kind of imperfections with the leather. But I'd say the stitching in certain areas, like right here where the thumb is at, hopefully you guys can see that and it refocuses, but some stitching kind of coming through on the leather could have been done a little bit cleaner right there on the thumb. But you can see the stitching right here that holds the grip bar in looks good. The seam of the thumb looks pretty good. The holes are punched out on the ventilated holes. The stitching around here looks really good. The seam looks nice. The hinge point looks pretty good as well. Edge on the outside is pretty good. And the balance of the glove is nice. So you can see you don't really get any kind of sag right there. So the distribution of the padding and the weight throughout the glove is really good. You don't have a super top heavy glove, which is really nice. So, but overall the quality is really good. The padding on here, I'd say, is a medium density. It's right in the middle, not too soft and not too stiff or hard. So this is a great training glove. You can use it for both bag work, sparring, pretty much everything in the gym. This is one of those gloves that's kind of an all-purpose glove that you can use, which is great, especially if you're looking to just have one pair of gloves in your gym bag. You're not trying to have 2 or 3 pairs. You don't want to use something for all kinds of work. They're 16 ounces, so you can use them for sparring, and they're exactly on weight, so you can never get called out at the gym for having gloves that are too small for sparring. So weight-wise, they're good, and the foam is really nice. Comfort of the gloves are great. You slide your hand in here. Nice deep finger compartment. Excellent thumb, nice and parallel, doesn't jam at the top. You do have a piece of neoprene over the fingertip compartment that kind of seals off the stitching so you don't feel any discomfort on your fingertips. Has a fairly broken in feel to it. It's not overly stiff. I'd say it's about 80% broken in if I were to put a percentage scale on it. But they're pretty broken in. They're not stiff at all. The wrist support really feels really good, especially when you have your hands wrapped and you slide them in here. It's a really nice feeling. It doesn't feel like it's overly huge or too snug to where you feel like you have pressure points along the thumb. The finger compartment is not overly crowded. You get enough room where your fingers don't collapse on each other, but it's not too wide either to where you feel like your hand will shift around inside the hand compartment. So perfect sizing as far as the inside goes. The liner feels good too. It's not overly bunched up. You don't feel like you have a lot of excess liner where it kind of wrinkles up over your fingers. So that feels great as well. So overall, the comfort is definitely there. I mean, I couldn't really find any issues with my hands being uncomfortable, even after a prolonged period of time. So definitely the comfort's there. Protection and performance too is great. I mean, these are a really well balanced glove. When I said earlier, like it's kind of like a do-it-all glove. You can really work on everything. You definitely land on your knuckles with this. And again, that has really a lot more to do with the ergonomics of the glove and how much your hand basically shifts into the glove when it rolls into it with your fingers tucked underneath. So I feel that it did a great job of not overloading with too much padding. Sometimes when they have too much padding, it forces your fingers into an awkward position. Not only that, but it kind of reduces the amount of feedback, and that's something I like to feel when I hit the bag. Me personally, that's just kind of my personal preference, but you get a good feeling of landing punches. You get a decent amount of crack out of these. They're not like the rival bag, like the HDF Guerreros, where when you hit the bag, you get this loud bang. I mean, you still get a good amount of bang with these gloves, but they're really well balanced. I mean, I feel like you can't really go wrong with these in terms of the performance. Again, I'd say they're right there in the middle of the roads for as far as a training glove goes when it comes to feeling the feedback and the shock absorption with the kind of multi-layer foam that they use in here. So cost-wise, I believe that they're aiming these to be about $140 about, which is kind of in the range that you would see with like Sabos Pro Series and some other companies that have a similar glove. You know, that's not finalized yet, so don't hold me to that yet because I know they're still finalizing pricing, but from talking to them, I believe they're looking at around $140, and hopefully they offer a lot more colors and styles to choose from, which I definitely will be great to see. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Underdog Fight Company boxing gloves. See you guys next time. Peace.